Hey, it's WebMaster here coming at you. We're at part 3 of the Joomla series, so let's take a look and see where we left off here. Last time we had updated Joomla. We installed JCE editor, AKeeba backup, and basically took the site offline and reconfigured the template for the offline page. Today we're going to just start to customize the template with a couple of photos and the graphic or the logo. So I'll show you how to do that briefly, and then we're going to get into some of the paid subscriptions or implementations for the modules that we're going to implement for this site. That's going to be for an e-commerce solution and for SEO solution. So we'll get right into that. So let's see where we left off here. All right, here is the site how we last left it. All right, here we go. And so here it is. The here's you got your logo. This is going to be the home screen, and you got your social media icons up here. You got your menu system. You got your logo. You got your main header area, and that changes. It slides if necessary, and we can do a number of things with that. I'd sometimes like to see a little button here to where you can scroll down. So depending on what we use, we may not use this particular. We'll call it a slider for this main image here, but we're going to be replacing the background image here with two that I just have temporarily, and then the logo. So we'll start there, and then we can get into other themes as far as this theme is laid out. But I usually probably just disable a lot of this stuff and start from scratch on a number of the custom, call it module positions. And so we'll get right into that into the back end. So let's go ahead and log into the back end from the administrator panel. And now we are in the back end. So like I said, with the, let's have just a normal one too, so that we could compare what changes we are making. In the back end, we want to look at this page right here. And for this particular one, normally there could be a number of things you could do. You could go in here and find the module position and say, okay, let's search and see what page we're on. Well, we are on the home page. So you would go here and say page. And here are all the modules that are on and associated with the home page. Now that's one element, and some of these carousels and different breadcrumbs, login form are actually in here. They're one, two, here could be one module position, just this area here, module A, B, C, right? This could be a second one with possibly, this is one module with two options, option 1, option 2. Here is a module position with 1, 2, 3, 4 positions, okay? So just keep in mind here that modules can come into consideration in positions. It's a gridded position. I might lose you here, but just stay with me. Is that this all translates to the back end, and I'll show you this here real quick. So those are modules, and those may be your first assumption is, okay, well, what page are these modules on? And let's go find them and do that. But there's another component to this, which is the template. And so if you look here, there's a number of template versions. So for example, we are on the home page, and 9 times out of 10, your home page template will be associated with your home location. So there's a default one that everything pulls from, and then there's alterations of them or different versions of them. And you can look at see which page has which theme associated with. So from that perspective, let's go to the home. I know that just from doing this, that this is the home module position, and you could change anything here. So for example, let's say we just did on the fly. We wanted to go with this color scheme. Boom, save style, and then it's going to update the home page right here. Ready? Boom. See how we do that? So I mean, I kind of like this. I think I'll stay with this one actually. And then we base everything off of that. Let's see, maybe this one's a little bit cleaner. Let's see what we like here. I mean, this is very high level, starting the page. None of this stuff may end up being in the end. All right, we'll start with this one. I'm fine with that. So this layout, and you can change all different types of things. And these are, again, module or location. So for example, your navigation, this will be the top section here. So your background and text color. So up here in this module here, or module location. If you wanted to change the text color to say green, you'd come in here and change it to green, right? Let's see, is that the color selected here? Let's just take there. I have that backwards. Anyway, okay, let's just pick this for example. Go ahead and hit save, and it will change the colors to green. See what I'm talking about? All right, very good. Let's put this back to white for now. And there's a whole bunch of things you can customize, different things in here where you breakpoint. For example, this is all responsive, so it has the large desktop, tablet, mobile, and mobile menu coming down from. So you can control this should there be new screen sizes or different screen sizes. So for example, this is all responsive, and you're telling it where the points are to get different responsive. Fall down, scroll down to there, scroll down to there, scroll down to there, bring the mobile version out, bring that out. Okay, and that is in here. You're telling it if you wanted to override it, you'd click on it and override it and give it a different screen size resolution. All right, so stay on track here. Back to how we're going to change out the logo and the back end for that. Let's see, that should have changed. Yeah, it did. Okay, so everything is considered in the yeah, we already saved it. Page set out is different things. I know for SEO perspectives, this makes things really easy. You can put some things into the head properties right here. Very easy to do. Body attributes, if you want to put stuff in there. You can even add custom JavaScript and JS, which, you know, I mean, for schema markup and everything else, it's easy to do per page. So any type of page that uses this particular version of the template would have whatever Atom or Google Analytics or whatever the case may be associated with it. So we'll get into that further down the road here. We don't want to do anything here now. But this is the main section. This is the layout. This is actually translate to your actual website. So again, if you were to strip down all the graphics and just look at it in the way this thing is gridded, these are all the areas that have module positions associated with them. In this particular one, you can see this is grayed out, and it says it's inherited from the base outline, meaning that it is pulling its instructions from the base outline. So from there, you know, if you would want to edit this, you'd go to the base outline and change the logo, the menu, and the social settings. Okay, if not, you go back to where we were, the home position. Or you could deassociate. See, it says inherent here. You could basically say, nope, I don't want it to be associated with the base outline. I want to make my own changes only on this particular templated version. Stay with me. So here is the header and the navigation we talked about in the header. This I know is the navigation up top, and the header is actually this whole area, right? It's changing. Boom, boom. Let's go ahead into the OWL carousel. Now you could do this a number of different ways. This could actually be a generic module version, and you could assign them a module to this version. However, in this particular situation, it is designed through the template and given this module position to be edited here. There's 20 ways to do 20 different things. So here is where we get into it. Now I had OWL carousel items right here. Helium is here. This is the main page. So if I were to say Anthony's Gym, and I was to say this is going to be a e-com site, right? And then the link I want it back to, you know, our e-commerce site, whatever is going on here. Save it, come back. Anthony's Gym. See what I mean? Oh, you can grab. Cool. So. And let's see, download now, and whatever it goes to, you know, whatever it's linked to. So that gives you an idea how we're changing the front page. Now here we want to change the image that's associated with that, and it's right here, right? So the image here. Now I don't know if you use, but I use Google Chrome. You can use whatever you want, but there is the inspect. You right click and go inspect, and then we can start to see what's going on behind the scenes and start to reference stuff in our template. I usually put this at the bottom, and here we go. Now, first thing I want to do is I want to replace this earth looking thing in the background. So I start looking for it. I find it, come down here, and let's start from scratch here. Come here, right click using Google Chrome and inspect. Now I am in the code or the CSS style sheet that is feeding the display layout. This is different than view source. If you were to view source, you would see all the language and all the style sheets and everything else going on here. This is an inspection version. Sometimes you got to get a little creative on finding where things are because they're layered or whatever the case may be. So I usually light it all up, use this little selection arrow, light it up, and start to see where we're at. Now I know I'm looking for a fairly large photo. Oh, there it is right here. So I click here, I'll right click, I'll open in new tab, and there is the image. Right, that is the image that's feeding the background. I'll right click on that, copy the image, and then I use the Photoshop and Adobe Suite. So that's pretty much everything I do. I right clicked and copied. I know the size is 16:9 by 955. I go ahead and create it. Come over here, and now I got my screen size. So we further known, I scattered out a couple things. I'm not sure where I'm going to go with this one. I have some choices here. There's a background of the gym. There is, him posing in front of his gym. I'm not sure. So I'll play with these a little bit and figure out what I want to use. But for now, I'm just going to use this one. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go ahead and paste it in. And there we go. I'm going to resize it into whatever, however configuration I want to see it. Leave it there. All right, done deal. All right, go ahead and save it. File export, I usually use PNG. All right, leave it at its side. All right, so this is my series. This is actually going to be for Anthony's Gym website, and we're going to do images. Here we go. Now for SEO purposes, I always use keywords that we're going to be using. So for this particular product, I can say, fitness products, workouts. And we start there. I'm going to use all different kind of keywords in naming all of this, but this is where we're starting with it. Right, so we save it. And it's exported and it's done. It's ready to go. Now we go back to our interface here. Right. We can close out this inspector. Come back here. Go to the owl carousel. Come back into the item. Now we change the image right here. Boom. See these selections we have? We want to upload a file. So we select them. We find where we're at. Anthony's Gym. A website. The images, and here it is, fitness. We go. And now we select it. We hit select. Boom, boom, boom. Apply and save the layout. Now, boom, doom, doom. There it is. So we might be happy with it. We may not be happy with it, and that could be all on the shading. And we may or may not like the occupancy or opacity. Sorry, whatever that is. So here you see the opacity set pretty high. So, we could change it down to, 0.01 and, mess with that and then use CSS in the long run to change how we're going to do that. So let's see. I don't know. So let me back up how I did that. This is, there looks like to be a texture over the top of it, right? And we know that we uploaded an image that had some darkness to it, and we know that this theme must be using an opacity in the CSS code. So again, we go back to right click, use the inspector. We find out, highlight the big image, and we see over here that it's got an opacity setting of 0.9. Well, we can start to, right in here, start messing with the code and seeing the results of what's going on by just manipulating this. And then we can almost sort of like design a little bit here in finding out what options before we go change the code, upload it, and continue that process. So here, so maybe we might want to change that. And if we do, the way Joomla is, it has a custom override CSS page. I'm going to get to that one a little bit later, but this gives us an idea on how we're going to edit the main image, or at least the main content of the page on the fly. So we'll just leave it as it is. In this particular situation, if I was in the sandbox and I was only limited to what I knew on the actual the page and not the extra stuff that you can do with Joomla by customization, I'd probably be limited here and say, well, this doesn't look that good because it's very, very pale. I don't see the background. I might have to change back over to here. So if I were to do that, I would change the layout and see if this looked better. It may or may not be the thing, and depending on what you're trying to accomplish here, I would want it darker. So anyway, let's go back to where we were. Leave it here. Let's change the logo. So up here, top left, helium logo. That's part of the navigation. And we go back into the layout, and we come into the logo section that I mentioned, right? So now I said it was by the base outline. So there's going to be multiple templates that are pulling from the base outline. So we might as well just change the logo. It's going to be on every single page in the base outline. So what I did is I changed this to the base outline, go to the logo. Here is the logo file. It's actually an SVG, which is made up of a lot of just coordinates. It's pretty interesting how they're starting to do things in images. It's supposed to load faster, but we're not going to be using that right now. So let's actually uncheck that and unuse it. We're going to be using an image. Again, I come back to Photoshop. I've already had this opened. I'm going to use this for now. It may not look correct just because we haven't put any design thought into this yet. So I'm going to go ahead and save it for the web. And I'm going to keep it a PNG so that the background is transparent. Going to save. And for this one, a logo, I'm going to keep it in the brand way for the SEO. So I'm going to use Anthony's gym, and I'm just going to type in fitness because that's going to be a word that we're going to be trying to be ranking for in the long run. So there it is, done deal, saved from Photoshop in PNG, transparent background. And now we're going to go in here and we're going to upload it and associate it with the base outline. Anthony's gym logo gets uploaded. Select it, apply and save layout, reload. What's going on here? I did change it. Logo, image, Anthony's gym, override, block. And now it doesn't want to cooperate. Let me see if it's a browser cache. Could be a browser cache issue. Let's see another browser here. Well, it doesn't want to cooperate. So what's going on here? I got to go dig in deep. Okay, this is actually called, what is this? A logo, media only. Okay. So we come back here. Base outline. It's using the base outline. What is going on here? So let's go to the outline for the main page again. Home, particles, logo, inheriting from base outline. Let's just deassociate it. So there it's deassociated. Come back in here. It still says it's from the base outline. I don't want to be associated with the base outline. Save layout. Inheriting from base outline. It's locked. Inheritance, base, no inheritance. Sometimes they update these things and I don't know how to navigate on the fly here, so apologize. But let's see here. We'll go back to this. So we're just going to do it on here. That should do it. Now we're being difficult. Now we are being difficult. Now we are being difficult. Replace. I want to replace all of it. Come into the logo. Image. Logo. Link. On. It is not being cooperative today. I don't know what the deal is. Home particles. Home particles. Default. Full width. Let's try the default one. I don't know. The layout. Same situation here. Change it here. Apply and save. Save layout. One last thing to change here before I go exploring. Check the cache from the site. The gantry cache, we're going to go ahead and clean out the cache. Delete the cache. Come back and see if it has changed it. Now it's being difficult. Now we got to go investigating. And this is part of sometimes dealing with Joomla and dealing with this content management system, is that you made all the right choices. Don't understand. It's still, see, now I know I can look here and it's still pulling that SVG image from here. And I don't know why. And go in a little bit. It is in the navigation. It is in here, and we're being looked at the block size. And it's still pulling the information from the SVG. So I'm going to go in here and clean it out then. Maybe that is the issue. So we go in here in the modules. I'm sorry, templates. Come back in here to the default one. We look at the the layout. Come into the logo. The SVG code here is still here. So I'm going to go ahead and just delete it out of there. And now apply and save and see if that for some reason did it. Still not. Once again. Home particles. Drew it here too. There we go. Time that out. Apply and save. There it is. For some reason, the AVG was creating a conflict in there, and it wasn't taking it. I'm not sure. It could be an inherent problem with the gantry update, or something went on there. But anyway, you can see that it's not always a perfect science here. We've done the right things. I replaced the logo, and for some reason that other code was replacing it there. It looks a little small here, but that's okay, because now we can do stuff on the fly. We can take this here and we can just say, okay, let's open it up a little bit to maybe like 27%, save layout. Now it's going to expand this module and allow the logo to become full size. See? And now we can start to play with it and see if, where it makes sense as far as the positioning of it on the fly without using any CSS overrides in our file. So we'll just say, let's say here, 75%, come back here. There, it's kind of close. We'll get to manipulate this a little bit later as far as being it perfect across the top, the right colors, the right, contrast and everything else going with it. So this gives you your first page. Customized and done everything there. The social media here is in the same thing. You can come in here and go into the social media, and you can see where it says it's inheriting from the base outline. So I do want to prove the point here that things do get done through that way with being associated to it. So if I change the base outline, which should change it on every version of the template, it should work everywhere. So let's, for example, we have Twitter, and right now it's printing to the theme page. Let's just go back and say let's print it to YouTube.com. All right. Apply and save layout on the base outline, which is feeding the home page particles. So technically right now I didn't reload this. I had Twitter. It was going to the theme area. And now when I get the refresh, I changed the base outline. This should send me to YouTube. And it did. And it did that for every single page. So the theme has a whole bunch of stuff in it that you can also look through about variations. There's inherent code in the theme package that you can put advanced code on and get things to lay out and be within the theme. And so these pages are still here. Your customized error pages, the layouts and different things. What kind of pages are here? There's a blog page that they've gotten templated up for you. So if you click on the blog page, it will load. There we go. So, and that's like, yeah, this is my blog. This is the format you can follow. I usually don't use any of this stuff, but that's how it is. So look for here example. We've changed the format on the home one, but not the rest of them. So that becomes the issue of, well, what is this? How do we know what template is associated with the blog page? Well, we look at that and we come back here and say, I'm not sure. Let's check out default and the assignments. So the default and assignments, this will tell you what pages have what template on it. And let's look here. Maybe what else could it be? Maybe it's the base outline. No, that is just the one that feeds everything else. Let's see what has things associated with it. Oh, here's one, block variations, that's associated there. We would be looking for this one here. It's part of the pages area. So here, let's see if I can find something that says pages. Blog page, sorry. Blog page, right here. So we're looking for the pages and the blog page, or what template is associated with that one. Pages, nope, not that one. Full width, pages, not that one. Home particles, pages, not that one. This becomes a little tedious. If you don't know sort of the template layout. And that's why I like to create this stuff on my own from scratch, so I know what I'm doing here, and rather than trying to backtrack everything and figure out where things are at. But this is kind of inherently showing everything that's going on here. So when in doubt, I'd come back to the base outline and look at that page and just see what was going on here. And just from trying to be intuitive, change it here on the base outline and see if that affects the line. Let's go back to, I think we're at 25. I forget where we're at. Let's just say 25 for now. Save that. Reload. Done. Come up here. So it's not pulling from the baseline. It's pulling from the my guess is it's pulling from default, because we have not assigned it yet. And there we go. There, it was pulling from default. So for example here, now we have this black background up here on the default page. Well, maybe, you know, on the home page, you know, see it's in the back there and it's transparent. There's different things going on there for the home page. But let's say, you know, we don't like the look of that. Again, we come back, we go to pages, blog, so we know where it's at. And this upper area, I know just from working things, it's the navigation area. So we look up here, we come into the default page, and we look at the layout. I'm sorry, the page styling. And we look at the navigation section. See the navigation, the background color here? Let's say we want to change it to white. We hit Save Style, come back here, and it changes to white. So, and now you got to take into consideration, well, what about the text now? Well, come back in here, and take the text and change it from that color to this color. Oh, sorry, I don't want to do that. Just reload. Come back in our navigation text color. Let's say we want to make the text color black now because we have the background on white. Save style. Done deal. There's the page. Good, good. Back home. Should have its own custom thing associated with it. And that's how, you know, things start to build out. We're getting into it here a little bit here, and hopefully we're being oh, see, now here's a different one. Right, so the sub page, come on, where is that one? Oh, I didn't have it reloaded, but the new logo, that's fine. Okay, so where are we at here? We had talked about doing a couple different things here. Today. All right, we went ahead and figured out how to add in logo, background, and utilize the template and style sections. The last thing we'll do on this one is the menu system. Okay. Come in here again, back to our back end here. Right. All right. Let's go up here, up to the nav bar, and do manage. Menu manage. Right. This is the whole system as far as menu is concerned. In this particular theme, there's only one, and here are all the menu pages. So let's take a look at this here from the home perspective. We got home, features, pages, layouts, and styles with a whole bunch of submenus, and in some cases there's multiple, where are they, different types of things that are going on here. So I usually just come in here and go search tools, set max levels to 1, and then you basically get your top level menus in here. I'm going to leave them in here because I might reference some things throughout this tutorial, but normally I would just clear all this out and start from scratch. So in that particular situation, let's just add a new one, and I'll show you how you add one. You go to new, and let's just say this is, what don't we have up here that we're going to use in the future? Contact. Let's just say contact. I don't even know contact. How about, I'll just say call it store. And from here, we're going to say the menu type is an article, and it's a single article. And we want to create the single article. And the new article is created, and this is going to say here, this is what did I say, store, and I'm going to put in here, this is where the shopping cart will be. All right, just put it in here. And in here you can go into a whole bunch of different things with different options, publishing, and everything that you want to do and customize. So for now, just save and close. Now, when you're in here, when we get into SEO later, it's going to be the page display. Here's your title setting, your heading section, and then there's the description. Keywords are no longer used, but you know, your choice if you want to use them or not. Save and close, done deal. Here is now the store. It is published over here, and it should upload and be right here. There it is, store. And you click on it and see this is where the shopping cart will be. Now, one of the reasons I love to use Joomla is for this exact reason right here. I am logged into the site, and anybody who's anybody can come in here on an article and not pertaining to anything here as far as design. If this was all, you know, graphicked up and done up, everything in here would stay the same except for this content right here, which I would click into here, go ahead and edit. And boom, you are in it like an editor, and I can say, I can do anything I want here. I can add photos. I can come up here and say, okay, I want a new photo up here. I can take it from the PC I'm on right now, or I can have something that was already up here. I'm going to say, let's see, Joomla. Oh, I like this. I'm going to use this, and there's things in here for SEO, advanced things you can do. You can make thumbnails. You can create all kinds of things. Hit insert. You can say, oh, well, I don't want it over there. I want to float it left, put that over there. Add, you can come in here and add some margin to it. I want a margin of 20 around it, and then I want a border. Done. And there it is. And then I say, well, that's great. I love it. And then you can add other things in here, hit save. And you just updated your website from the front end. No one needs to help you. No one else needs to do anything else. Done deal. So that's sort of the power of Joomla and the ability to design websites for your clients and give them the ability to easily do that. I mean, all you have to do is come in here and have them sign in, username and password, and the site becomes immediately editable from the front end. There's no pages, there's no other things you have to do. It is, I don't think it can get any more simple than this. And that's inherent of the JCE editor that we installed. So I think that's enough for this version. The WebMaster, your own personal webmaster. If you like what you see, subscribe to our channel and give this video a like, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Appreciate it.